Hello everyone, and welcome back to Tutorials of Tone. My name is Alex. Thank you so much for watching this video. What we're covering today, the third and final part of our Piece of My Heart trilogy, the live Faith Hill rock arrangement. This is selfishly my favorite version of this tune, and I'm so excited. Let's just dive right in. First up in our preset, we have our input block. Everything here is at stock settings, except the threshold of our gate is at negative 47.5 dB. It's where I like having it for my Morse Music Man guitars, as well as this Fender Tele, both of which I use on every country gig that I play. For our overdrive sound, we are using a JCM 850 watt amp, the Brit 800 2204 high. This was not the original tone that I used for the overdrive, and it is a welcome upgrade, but we will compare and contrast those tones in a moment. Dialing in our JCM 800, we have our gain down to 4. Our bass and treble are just off of noon, but very moderate settings here. Bright switch engaged, and our presence is up to 4. To smooth out the really high preamp distortion and voicing of this amp, we have our master volume turned up to 7.5. We have a low cut of 80 Hz and a high cut of 8500 Hz in the input EQ. For our cabs on our overdrive tone, we have a pair of 4x12 Marshall cabs, a 1960B as the bulk of our tone, and a 1960A with a 57 on it blended in at negative 2.5 dB. We have an 80 Hz low cut and a 10K high cut on the cab. Again, that sounds like this. That tone is running in parallel to a medium plate reverb, entirely stock settings here, just giving us a little extra squish and some breath so that this isn't such a stark, barren wasteland when we're listening to live or board recordings later on. Also running in parallel, we have a stereo tape delay set to a quarter note quantization. This arrangement is at 156 BPM, but if you were to play this arrangement, and maybe you're feeling a little excited, there is a tap tempo switch on your FC controller. As you can see, this is tied to an expression pedal. For our input gain, we bring this in for lead boosting, so you can lead boost either your overdrive tone or your heavy channel. For our heavy tone, we are using a Mesa Boogie JP2C+ red channel set with an input boost at the stock neutral boost type and 12 dB. Very moderate settings here. Gain and overdrive at 6, bass turned down to 1.5 and the cut switch engaged, treble at 1 o'clock, and the bright switch is engaged with the presence at a healthy 1:30, 2 o'clock, and a little bit of power amp depth brought in at the end. That tone sounds like this. Man, when you want to kick in that chorus, this is the tone to do it. The input EQ on this amp, 21 Hz low cut, 8500 Hz high cut, very moderate in our cutting here. For our cabs, we are using a pair of 4x12 Mesa Boogie cabs, a traditional with a 57 as the bulk of our tone, and then a 121 at negative 5 dB to supplement. We have an 80 Hz low cut and a 10K high cut on this. We have the same medium plate reverb running in parallel. We also, on both scenes, have the option of lead boosting, which is very, very fun. You can boost either the overdrive channel or the heavy channel to your liking, whether you want to take a solo on that medium gain or the high gain. Maybe you need a line to pop out and give it a little bit of extra air with that delay. We've got you covered with this malleable little preset modification of lead boosting. For the end of song solo, I highly recommend using the heavy scene with the expression boost, of course, to really kick that final chorus into overdrive. And if you have the capability, highly recommend using drop D as well. That end of song lead tone could sound like this. Now, as I mentioned before, the Brit 800 was not my original choice for my overdrive sound on this tune. I was originally using a Mesa Boogie JP2C+ on the yellow channel. Now, we can compare and contrast those, and if you see fit, you can swap these in or out or tweak them to your liking. So here it is, the OD sound with the Mesa Boogie compared to the Brit 800. Well, there you have it, the final entry in our Piece of My Heart trilogy series. We started with the Janis Joplin original, with the infamous 59 Bassman. We then traveled to the Faith Hill studio version with the deluxe reverb and the notorious Matchless Chieftain, played by the illustrious Brent Mason. And we ended on this wonderful rockin' live rendition, which I brought to life with Mesa Boogie amps, as well as Marshalls for the overdrive. Thank you so much for watching this series, and this video in particular. If you enjoyed it, there are plenty more videos throughout the channel that you could check out with other tutorials of tone, gear reviews, playthroughs, Fractal 101s, and more. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you all next time.